Hi, so here on the Soul Shop, it's my intention to share with you pioneers in the field of mind, body, spirit. And today, my guest, E Sutton, is a health and wellness counselor, among many other things. She's very spiritually advanced. And I really enjoy sharing these intimate conversations with you. So even though it is an interview, we're really having a personal and deep conversation. So, and I've broken it up into segments, as I am to do with every guest, so you can digest the intimacy and the depth of it at your leisure. Okay, so here we go, E Sutton. So
Me too.
How's LA? What's going on down there that's causing your migration north? Is Krista with you?
Yes, Krista's with me, and our 19-year anniversary is in 2 days. And I know, not easy, relationships are not easy. But I don't think that that's what they were designed for some of us, For some of us, they're designed to be lessons and growth and healing, and and you're lucky enough, right? And you're lucky enough to have the juice that keeps you there. But certainly relationships, I think, and kids are the most interesting and challenging roads to enlightenment. Notice how careful I'm being about my adjectives.
Don't be careful, just let her rip. No.
Okay.
I'm not going to judge anything.
Yeah.
So what's going on in LA? Fill me in as it feels right, but you're feeling
okay.
You got to get out of LA, it sounds like.
Yeah, well, my son is 26. He's been in Eugene since he graduated U of O, like a bunch of years ago. And 3 years ago, he had a psychotic break. And I should probably centralize you so that it looks like I'm facing you instead of the side.
Like you're facing me.
Okay, good. Yeah, he was really wrestling with his body and his mind, and college was hard, and he was looking for himself, and he was smoking pot every day, and that moved into mushrooms, and that moved into DMT trips. And I have come to find out that if you have a predisposition to brain disorders, mental illness, that a certain percentage of people can get knocked into psychosis if they are playing with hallucinogens, and that includes marijuana. So he was being moved into psychosis over some time, and then he had a full-on psychotic break where he was being controlled by entities and gods, and if he didn't do what they wanted him to do, they would punish him or hurt him. They would take his body against his will and move him to different places, and it was intense. So that threw me into studying about mental illness. This is gonna round about to why I moved out of LA. Yeah, so that moved me into studying. I went to NAMI support groups, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. I went to support groups because I was in so much pain. I never felt pain like that before. And I think I've had surgery upon surgery upon surgery, two neck surgeries, a shoulder surgery. And just around Christmas time, I had brain surgery. Nothing has hurt like having my kid be in psychosis. Nothing. And it's like watching your kid drown in fire and you're behind a glass wall. You can't get to them. It's horrifying helplessness. So then I started going to, bigger, classes. And then the leader of the classes said, I think you'd make a great trainer. So then I did trainings, and now I'm a mental health educator. So there you go. Okay. So then last summer, we're trapped in our Santa Monica condo, which is a great condo, two miles from the beach.
Trapped because of fires or something?
Because of the fires. It was fires, it was COVID, and it was hot. And we have no air conditioning in Santa Monica. So we were like, this is hell. This is horrible. I'm like, we're like, get me out of here. And I don't move easily. I like to be planted. I have so many parts of my mind and my brain that are so unearthed so often that I like to plant my feet where I am and keep my roots and have my community, and nothing will move me away from them except for fires, COVID. And my son was not doing well. He was in COVID, in lockdown, and there were fires in Oregon too,
Mhm.
isolated and single and living alone with a brain disorder. I'm like, we've got to get to Oregon. Now, granted, he's off of a lot of the medicines. He's on one medicine. I do vitamin therapies with him. He's got me as a mom. His dad is sandwiched around him.
Good.
People with brain disorders need serious support, and he's lucky to have it. So, having said that, he's mostly stabilized. He's a genius. He's beautiful. He's compassionate, empathic, and gorgeous, and wants to be irreverent. Like, the guy is amazing, but he still needs support. And Krista's mom is getting a little older, and her family's all out here, and we just felt like we needed to decide, like, where do we want to spend these years? So that is a long answer to your short question.
Well, no, it's a huge decision to migrate north, have a relocation of any kind, but especially out of state. I get it, believe me. So there's always a long story, and it wasn't that long actually.
Right.
Makes a lot of sense connecting all those dots. I'm just, I mean, you're such an impressive person. Besides continuing to evolve yourself and become mental health, what is it?
Mental health educator.
So what is that actually, what do you do as a mental health educator? You educate people
Well,
how they cope with their own challenges and around that?
no,
I guess.
mostly I educate for the NAMI organization. They have a program called Family to Family, and it's really for the family members of people struggling with mental illness and brain disorders, to help them understand what to do and what not to do. It's a college level course on numerous different kinds of mental illnesses, medications, communication, empathy, and even some of the stuff that you learn in 12-step programs like detachment, learning how to deal with helplessness, learning how to put yourself in someone's shoes, yeah, it's a lot. The family members are just, we're all upset and in pain, and out of good intentions, doing and saying, trying to do and say all the right things, and often doing and saying the wrong things. Right? It's like, it's not easy. You don't go to school and learn about how to deal with someone who's got emotional issues. You don't even go to school and learn about how to deal with relationships or bank accounts, let alone brain disorders. So I know you're supposed to be interviewing me, but do you want to tell me, I don't know what's happening with the recording, but do you want to tell me about how you migrate, or is this not the time?
Okay, so in the next segment, I'm going to talk about my migration north just a little bit, and then we're going to talk a lot more intense personal stuff, more than I ever expected I would share, but we're keeping it real here. So enjoy the next segment.